Hello students. Today we are going to learn about vectors. Yes, vectors. In this lesson we will learn about some important concepts, that is what vectors are, and the next topic is representation of vectors, representation. Yes, and the third one is difference between vectors and scalars. Yes, and the fourth one is some key formulas of exams. Yes, these topics will be covered. So let us start from what vectors are. So vectors show the direction. Vectors show the direction. Example: when we say that throw the ball from A to B. So yes, we show this by vector from A to B. So the next topic is representation. So to represent vector we use two methods. First one is alphabetical. Vector is always represented by alphabets: A, small a, B, small b, X, from A to Z. Yes, we can select from any alphabet from A to Z, but when we represent a vector, for example vector A, we make this darker all in bold letter. And students, we know that it becomes very harder. It becomes harder to make a letter bold, and even if we make a letter bold, one cannot notice whether it represents a vector or not. It becomes a little bit confusing. So the next method is very convenient. What vector you are representing: A small a, B small b, X, Y, Z, whatsoever, we put an arrowhead above it. That is very convenient, very easiest method. So from now onward we will use this method. This is universal and convenient method. So this is the representation of a vector. A subtopic arises from here, which is position vector. Position vector. Any vector is a position vector. Any vector is a position vector with reference to some fixed point that fixed point is known as the origin. For example, position vector A inverse position vector A. This becomes a very laborious, tedious task. We just simply show OA. So whenever we represent a position vector, let's say a position vector A, we write it as OA with reference to the origin O. So we can also understand it through the graph. We know that the point of intersection is the origin O. These two vertical lines make a graph. One is the horizontal line is x-axis and the vertical line is known as y-axis. We will discuss it later on, but here we are going to discuss about the position vector. So to represent the position vector OA graphically, we do this. This is origin, the position vector, the point A with reference to O, a fixed point, that is origin. It becomes the position vector OA. So this is how we represent the vector. And the next topic is difference between scalars and vectors. Difference between vectors and scalars. Yes, that is very simple. By scalar we mean some magnitude with a unit. Yes, for example, mass is a scalar quantity. It has only magnitude. The amount of particles, for example, let's say 5 kilogram. This 5 is magnitude and this is a unit, that is unit of mass. Length is a scalar quantity. Let's say we say that 16 kilometer. So 16 is a magnitude and this is a unit to that magnitude of the length. Kilometer is a unit. Yes, scalars have only magnitude, while on the other hand vectors have both magnitude and direction. To describe a vector completely, we require both magnitude and direction. Yes. For example, velocity. Velocity is a vector represented by this one, as we have discussed earlier. A vector is represented by an arrowhead over it. So how much velocity? Let's say 14 kilometer per hour towards south east. Yes, we must also talk about the direction when we are going to talk about velocity. 14 kilometer is its magnitude and southeast is shows the direction. So the velocity of the car, let's say for example the velocity of a car was 14 kilometer per hour towards southeast. The other examples of vectors are displacement, and acceleration, force, and so on. Yes, any quantity that needs both magnitude and direction for its complete description, then that quantity is known as vector. So the last part is some very important formulas that are useful in exams. So students, when we say that vector AB, how to represent this vector AB? This is nothing but vector OB, position vector B, or OB minus position vector A or OE. For example, this is an important question from the past paper. That is, this is O, this is A, and this is B, and yes, OA is represented by small a, OB is represented by small b, and we are asked to find the vector AB in terms of A and B. Yes, this is a very important question that is repeated in every exam. So AB, the formula is AB is equal to position vector B minus position vector A, or OB minus OA, the last one minus the first one. So we know that OB is equal to B in terms of, because the question is saying that we have to write this in term of A and B, so OB is equal to B and minus OA is equal to A. Yes, this AB is equal to OB minus OA. So this was our first lesson, conceptual lesson on the topic of vector. In the next video we will further solve some important questions that are commonly asked in O level and IGCSE exams. So please tell in the comments that how much did you learn from this video, and if you have further questions or confusions, tell me in the comment section. I will try my best to solve that questions. Thank you.